Hello everyone, welcome back. A little bit trying to get caught up with myself, and I feel like I'm a little bit behind getting these readings done because normally they'd already be done and automatically publishing by midnight, so that they'd be ready anytime after midnight for the following day. But I'll eventually get back to getting caught up like that. But here's today's reading, January 22nd. Oh, by the way, my name's John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been clean and sober for, well, actually, as of yesterday, 3 years and 11 months, to be precise. Yeah, okay, well, the School of Recovery, January 22nd. This is a program for learning. Basic text, page 16. Learning in recovery is hard work. The things we most need to know are often the hardest to learn. Excuse me. We study recovery to prepare ourselves for the experiences life will give us. As we listen to others share in meetings, we take mental notes we can refer to later. To be prepared, we study our notes and literature between lessons. Just as students have the opportunity to apply their knowledge during tests, so do we have the opportunity to apply our recovery during times of crisis. As always, we have a choice in how we will approach life's challenges. We can dread and avoid them as threats to our serenity, or we can gratefully accept them as opportunities for growth. By continuing the principles we've learned in recovery, life's challenges give us increased strength. Without such challenges, however, we could forget what we've learned and begin to stagnate. These are the opportunities that prod us to new spiritual awakenings. We will find that there is often a period of rest after each crisis, giving us time to get accustomed to our new skills. Once we've reflected on our experience, we are called on to share our knowledge with someone who is studying what we've just learned. In the School of Recovery, all of us are teachers as well as students. Just for today, I will be a student of recovery. I will welcome challenges, confident in what I've learned, and eager to share it with others. Wow, that's a really good reading today, and interesting enough because that just to kind of give you an idea of what I've been going through for the last couple months is that, well, as of December 1st, I graduated from the program that I was in regards to as part of my recovery and rehabilitation, I guess. Well, it was more of a housing program, I guess. I mean, they're the ones that actually helped me move in here in the first place. But anyway, so after almost being in the program for 2 years, and well, ever since I've been out of treatment, and then so as of December 1st, I took over my own lease, where I've been here just over 2 years now. But so took over my own lease as of December 1st, which kind of sucks. I mean, it's kind of good because ever since I've been in recovery, I've been this is the first time in my life that I've actually been taking responsibility for my life. Meaning making sure that my bills are getting paid and making sure that I'm taking care of everything that I used to avoid before. And up until when I started paying my student loan, I was doing really well. But since I started paying my student loan, there's a couple of bills that I've had to, well, I haven't been able to put money on, which one is being my cell phone. I've had to sacrifice that, and my credit card, which is already going to a credit agency. but that's a different story. But anyway, so as of December 1st, I took over my lease, and then my program ended with Ask Wellness. That's the programming in the community here, and so now so now my rent. So while I was in that programming, I was only having to pay like $8.90 for rent, which means, and out of that also came my hydro, and came whatever fees that I had to pay for the program that I was in. But anyway, but 8.90 was what was coming off my check every month. And then when I took over my own lease, well, my rent, well, they wanted originally 1,300 a month, but I managed to get it down to $1,000 a month. But on top of that, though, I'm also got to pay my own hydro, which is the first time I've had to pay my own hydro, which, so thankfully I was able to get that on an equal monthly thing, but still though, it's, for a $38 a month bill, I have to pay almost $100 until the damage deposit for that, for hydro, is taken care of. Anyway, so for my rent for December, right? Because I'm also on PWD, which is disability, and so when my programming ended with Ask Wellness, well, they told me that they turned around and sent my December check back to the ministry, and at the same time, the ministry told me that, well, they had that they hadn't received it back from Ask Wellness. And at the same time, since now that I've taken over my own lease and my rent is $1,000 a month, well, Ask Wellness gave me an extension, not on the program because my program ended, but they're still helping me with a subsidy for an extended period of time. So they're giving me an extra $250 a month. So really, it's still $750 that I gotta pay out of my pocket, and then $250 from them. So there's my $1,000, and then there's the hydro on top of that. But anyway, so come Christmas time, between making multiple trips back and forth to Ask and to the ministry, and nobody knows where the money is. And meanwhile, my landlord's messaging me saying that they haven't received nothing from nobody except for with what I sent them. Because when my programming ending with Ask Wellness, well, they gave me back my damage deposit, which was for my pet and my regular damage deposit. Which, okay, so since my rent went up, well, my damage deposit went up, so I had to add an extra $140 on top of my damage deposit, because my damage deposit is now 500 instead of the 360 or whatever it was that I was paying. And so now Christmas is over, and we're coming up to January. Well, December's rent still has not been taken care of, so I'm behind a month's rent. And as of December 9th, I was able to pick up my damage deposit back from Ask Wellness, in which case I just sent that straight to my landlord. And then so and then with the ministry, the shelter portion, for some reason the ministry took it as if I had moved out, and so my check didn't even have shelter on it. Anywho, long story short, it's now almost the end of January, and I was still, after all was said and done, ended up being like 500 short on my rent for the last couple of months, and then somehow, I guess Ask Wellness had a check there waiting for me, in which case they told me that they sent it directly to the landlord, but the landlord hadn't received anything. And now I'm picking up a check for $250, which was for January. December still hasn't even been dealt with yet. So today, I actually finally managed to pick up that $250 for December, and okay, so I managed to get that sent to my landlord. So now I am actually finally caught up on my rent and everything else. I mean, I still got this extra money to put out, but I don't have to stress out anymore on whether or not I'm going to get an eviction notice. And thankfully, my landlords have been really cool. I mean, they've been talking to me, and I've been, explaining to them about what I've been going through, and the fact that this is the longest since I've been clean and sober. This is the longest that I've held my own place. Because before it was always crowds of people over and drug deals and traffic and all the bullshit that went along with that lifestyle. So I am so glad to be out of that lifestyle. And okay, so I've been clean and sober. Well, I've been clean and sober for 3 years and 11 months, and but I was in treatment for 20 months. So as of November 6th, 23, I think. That's when I think I moved in here. November, yeah, 23. So yeah, so I moved in here November 6th, 2023, and even though I'm lonely and isolated, but I'm so clean and sober, and with everything that I got going on in my life right now, even though I am by myself and my cat, I mean, I probably I've probably got the best life right now than I've had my entire life. And I mean, like I said, I am lonely, but oh, my whole okay, yeah, sorry, my whole point about telling you that whole story was the fact that before in my active addiction, there's no way I would have been able to deal with that amount of stress, and in the beginning I was getting pretty stressful, but the fact that that I hadn't got that eviction notice, because that's what I was worried about, and things just things worked out, and I knew in the back of my mind that they were going to work out. It was just everything in between. And so I got a lot of great gratitude for patience, and I got a lot of gratitude for, because in the beginning I knew something was gonna just not go right, and when I graduated the program, because it all happened forcefully. It wasn't like, okay, we ran the course of our program and blah blah blah. The guy that was looking after me and a couple other people, his job or whatever changed, so he moved on to other things, and that was that. C'est la vie to me. But anywho, I'm doing a lot better, and thank you for if you even listened to that story. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate every one of you. And if nobody's told you today that they love you, well, I love you, and we'll see you again real soon. Tomorrow, if that's not soon enough. Okay, bye for now.